Technical Veterinary Learning Channel presents today New Human Monster or the Corona Novel 2019's COVID-19. Today is the 5th March of 2020. COVID-19's name it changed into SARS-CoV-2. This global scientific fears will be presents and interpretations by Professor Ahmed Mamdouh Sharif, Professor of Epidemiology and Infectious Diseases, Department of Veterinary Medicine, Faculty of Veterinary Medicine, Bani Suef University. The former name COVID-19 is a sum of words corona plus virus plus identified at 2019. Today, 5th March of 2020, medical authorities in China elaborated new name of this novel COVID-19 as it composed of two strains, SARS-CoV-2 is the sum of severe acute respiratory syndrome caused by coronavirus of two strains. SARS-CoV-2 infection is a transboundary, highly contagious, and zoonotic viral disease of respiratory system which infect human and other animal species. It began in Wuhan zone in China and ended by 50 countries all over the world. First report about this infection is reported at the 11th of December 2019 in Wuhan zone, China Republic for the first time. Humans act as a specific host where the disease began in human and then transmitted from man to man, while other animal species act as a non-specific host for SARS-CoV-2 as a first report about infectious disease in a dog seated with infected woman in South Korea reported at 3rd March of this year. This is the latest distribution map of cases number infected by SARS-CoV-2 at the 4th of March 2020, where United States said that 110 patients are suspicious to be infected with this strain. In Italy, the number reached to 2,500. In Iran, the number reached to 2,300. In China, there is 18,000. In South Korea, 5,300. In Japan, the number coming to 1,000. This is the latest distribution map of countries officially reported about suspicion of infected cases by SARS-CoV-2 strain at 4th of March 2020 according to WHO organization, where the officially elaborated suspicion countries are colored here by dark green. This chart explains the latest number of infected cases by SARS-CoV-2 from 11th of December 2019 up till 4th of March 2020 in the whole world according to WHO, where the number is exceeded that 95,000. This chart elaborated by WHO organization about the number of cases outside China, which reached to about 11,000. We are going now by flashback history about emerging of SARS-CoV-2. Science report about emerging at 11th of December 2019. Firstly, at 11th of December 2019, first report about emerging of COVID-19 cases. Then, secondly, at 31 of December 2019, reports from medical authorities in China about presence of clusters of this infection. At the 1st of January 2020, Wuhan local authorities closed a seafood whole market suggest linked with COVID-19 outbreak, and at the 7th of the same month, 2020, Chinese medical authorities reported identification of the virus as a novel type of corona. Today, 5th of March 2020, medical authorities in China reported about presence of two strains of the virus and named as SARS-CoV-2. Also, the total number of infected cases is about 95,000, and this is reached to about 3,000 and half in the whole world. SARS-CoV-2 strains are linked to Relium riboviria, phylum Incerticides, order Nidovirales, family Coronaviridae, subfamily Orthocoronaviridae, and the genera are alpha, beta, gamma, and delta coronavirus. The name coronavirus is derived from the Latin word corona, which meaning crown or halo. This word refers to characteristic appearance of the virus particle virions, which appear here in the picture as spikes all over the wall of the virus. Characteristics of coronaviruses. They are enveloped viruses. They have a positive sense single-stranded RNA genome and the largest among known RNA viruses. This picture clarifies the both envelope of membrane of protein and envelope of small membrane protein with presence of spike glycoprotein and spike hemagglutinin esterase. And inside the virus, we noted the double helical RNA. Their nucleocapsid have a helical symmetry, and their genome size ranged between approximately 27 to 34 kilobases. This picture illustrates the genomic tree of Wuhan coronaviruses, where it lies between the pet SARS-like coronavirus MG 772934.1 July 2015 in China and the Middle East respiratory syndrome related coronavirus NC 019843.3 13th June 2020. So it's take the both of SARS and the coronavirus character. History of coronavirus infectious diseases. Coronaviruses were discovered firstly at 1960 in the last century. The earliest one discovered were infectious bronchitis virus discovered in chickens. Then two viruses are isolated from the nasal cavities of human patients with common cold named human coronavirus 2029E and human corona OC43. Other members of corona family have since been identified as the following: SARS coronavirus in 2003, human coronavirus nasolaryngitis 63 in 2004, human Q1 in 2005, MERS coronavirus in 2012, SARS-CoV-2 formerly known as 2019 novel coronavirus in 2019. Coronavirus epidemics in humans usually cause respiratory syndrome. This schedule reports the outbreaks of coronavirus-related diseases. At 2003, the outbreak is severe acute respiratory syndrome. Virus type is SARS coronavirus. Human deaths reached to 774. At 2012, Middle East respiratory syndrome in Saudi Arabia, MERS coronavirus, where the deaths of human over 400. 2015, Middle East respiratory syndrome in South of Korea, MERS coronavirus, with human deaths reached to 36. At 2018, Middle East respiratory syndrome, MERS coronavirus, with human deaths reached to 41. 2019 to 2020 coronavirus outbreak with former name COVID-19 and recent name is SARS-CoV-2, where the human deaths over 3,500 all over the world. Transmission of SARS-CoV-2 human to human or human to animals transmission primarily thought to occur among close contact via respiratory droplet generated by sneezing and coughing and by all methods of contact. In the followings, we will explain the pathogenesis and molecular infection cycle inside infected host cells. SARS-CoV-2 enter through sneezing, coughing, air droplet, direct contact with infection by all types of contacts, where uncoated virus particle and the genome of the virus mixed with cellular cytoplasm, then 5-methylated capsid and 3-polyadenylated tail allows the virus RNA to attach to the host cells ribosomes for translation. RNA-dependent polymerase, or RDRP, is the first protein to be made, which allows viral genome to be transcripted into new RNA copies using host cell machinery. Once the gene encoding RDRP is translated, translation is stopped by a stop coding process which known as nested transcript. Messenger RNA transcript only encodes one gene by a process known as monocystronic. Coronavirus non-structural proteins provide extra validity to replication by confer a proofreading function which is lacking in RNA-dependent RNA polymerase enzyme alone. The genome is replicated and a long polyprotein is formed where all of proteins are attached. Coronaviruses have a non-structural protein named a protease is able to cleavage the polyprotein. This process is a form of genetic economy which allowing encoding greatest number of genes in a small number of nucleotides. Huge number of viruses produced by this process and invade all the respiratory cells. Secondary bacterial infection leads to pneumonia and maybe deaths in untreated cases. According to the CDC, transmission and symptoms of SARS-CoV-2 are the following. Transmission done through coughs or sneezing from infected persons or touching contaminated objects. Common symptoms are fever, then after 2 to 7 days develop a dry cough with mild breathing and difficulties at the outset with gastrointestinal issues, diarrhea and general body ashes. Severe symptoms, high fever reached to 41 centigrade or 100.4 Fahrenheit, pneumonia with kidney failure and ended by death. Illustration reported by medical authorities of China where spreading is coming to human transmission has been confirmed. People advised to wear masks, wash hands frequently and avoid close contact with anyone who has fever and cough. Common symptoms are headache and malaise, running nose, coughing or sore throat and muscle pain. Potential complications are high fever above 39 centigrade or 100.4 Fahrenheit, trouble breathing, pneumonia, sepsis, or even death. According to WHO organization, SARS-CoV-2 have the following symptoms: fever, difficulty in breathing, coughing, tightness of the chest, and some patient chest scans have also shown inflamed and fluid-filled lungs, lead to death. Public Health in England elaborate this illustration for a new infection has been detected in Wuhan in China. Fever, difficulty breathing, and coughing, and advise people to contact their numbers if they have these symptoms. Treatment of the disease. Up till now, there is no vaccines available or antiviral drugs to prevent or treat human coronavirus infection. Currently, doctors are working on a medicine called remdesivir that has promised to treat coronavirus symptoms. Coronaviruses recorded for causing 11 zoonotic infections as follows. Coronaviruses infect the upper respiratory and GIT of chickens, camels, cattle, and pet animals, which can be serious and are a threat to the farming industry. Coronaviruses cause infectious bronchitis virus, which causes avian infectious bronchitis. Porcine coronavirus, transmissible gastrointestinal coronavirus of pigs. Bovine coronavirus, responsible for severe profuse enteritis in young calves. Feline coronavirus cause mild enteritis in cats as well as severe feline infectious peritonitis. Two types of canine coronavirus, one causing enteritis and the other found to be causing respiratory disease. Turkey coronavirus cause enteritis in turkeys. Ferret enteric coronavirus cause epizootic catarrhal enteritis in ferrets. Ferret systemic coronavirus causing FIB-like symptoms in ferrets. Pantropic canine coronavirus, rabbit enteric coronavirus causes acute gastrointestinal disease and diarrhea in young European rabbits where mortality rates are high. Porcine epidemic diarrhea virus has emerged around the world. SARS-CoV-2, which causes respiratory syndrome in dogs in South of Korea. All doctors and veterinarians in the medical field have to learn all people infection control to be safe in the following 14 steps. Number 1. Following the news momently about this disease. Number 2. Travel embargo to all infected countries. For all doctors, veterinarians, or workers in the medical field, we have to follow up the standard precautions for medical patients. Application of antiseptics everywhere. Application of quarantine during outbreaks with closure of public gathering places. During sneezing or coughing, cover your mouth and nose as vampire if you didn't have a handkerchief, as germs can travel 3 feet or more. Wearing of masks in collections such as metro and bus stations. This picture illustrates the two types of masks, the normal one and the most preventive one. This picture for the ordinary and simple mask wearing. This is the most specific mask with 3M8210 type. For your safety, more specific masks which purify the air have to be worn. For doctors and veterinarians, detection of temperature have to be done by infrared thermometer. All persons work in medical field have to wearing gloves. Hand cleaning and hygiene are the main shield in protection against SARS-CoV-2. Hand cleaning and hygiene are the main shield in protection against SARS-CoV-2. Sterilization of all medical instruments before using with patients. hospitals, offices, and even in homes, cleaning of equipment is a good shield against SARS-CoV-2. Owners of pet animal should go with them to the veterinarians if showing respiratory or gastrointestinal disturbance. Animals wear a muzzle mask if their owner suffering from flu-like infection or if they themselves showing respiratory syndromes. This picture illustrates another type of muzzle mask for pet animals. Large animals should be diagnosed by veterinarians if showing any respiratory or GIT disturbance. All ruminants should be examined by veterinarians if showing respiratory or gastrointestinal disturbances. Global war against SARS-CoV-2 is still going, so please subscribe this channel to follow up the most modern and the newest information about coronavirus infection.